This chapter explains how to use the palette functional controller. The first thing we need to understand is what is palette. It is the function that we can quickly call the attributes of the fixture when programming. For example, I save various colors, as well as prism palette for beam lamps and so on. I can quickly call these during programming. We can see the palette options on the right side of the screen. We can see several columns on the palette page, or dimming, position, global, and so on. AOL means that as long as you activate the channel attributes of the material, it can be stored in the corresponding attributes value. Dimming, position, global, like this corresponds to a single attribute of the palette. For example, we say the position palette, even if it has activated its color disk channel, pattern channel, etc. It doesn't store the corresponding attribute in either. It will just store the position information of the light we selected to the corresponding palette. So we usually click off Store Palette. How to create a palette? For example, I am currently creating color palette for a light fixture. We select one unit beam lamp first, press Locate to light up. Click Color Attributes in the bottom left corner of the screen. Click Color Attribute to activate this channel. Click Activation or just turn Wheel. Press Store button on controller. The main thing about our palette is the overall in the lower right corner, and the storage unit in the lower left corner. Overall is currently active, which means that all the palette we save are shared palette, although we only use one beam lamp for palette storage. However, all lamps of the same type connected with this LED library can directly call to use this palette. All lamps achieve the effect of changing colors together. This is the effect that can be achieved by activating the lower right corner overall. Background color turns red. It means only one lamp can cool this palette. Next, let's look at the storage unit in the bottom left corner of the screen. By default, we storage palette as channel. It means that when the current color palette is called, only the channel attributes value under the color is modified. Brightness, position, and so on are not stored in Metat. So when we use this palette, it will not affect other channels. Only the activated channels is affected. We switch it to storage units as channel. Click directly on the blank space to save the new palette. I'm storing a white palette now. We want to change it to a different color, like red. We do not need to press Store button for the second operation, because when we click Store just now, we have made sure that it is Store Shared Palette, and the storage unit has been modified. We can just double-click on the blank space to save the new palette. Next, store another orange palette. Gently turn the wheel to the corresponding color and double-click on the blank space directly on the screen. Above is about creating beam lamp color palette. Click the Clear button, will create some other palette. Select the beam lamp, press Locate button, click Beam Attributes, click Prism. I can create a prism of a material. Gently turn the wheel to open the prism. Double-click the blank space on the screen to store a prism and palette. Gently turn the wheel to close the prism. Double-click the blank space on the screen to store a prism of palette. We can store the fast rotation, slow rotation, and stop rotation of the prism according to our personal needs. We can edit the stored palette. Press Edit button on controller, select a palette, then enter the page of Edit Palette. Click Image Display, click Open Graffiti Board, select Color, click Paint Bucket Up here dart. It can quickly spread all over the board with color we choose. Click Application, leaving this page. The palette is directly programmed with a white background. Now, for the next time we need to call the material, we can easily know which palette can control my light to turn on white. The second is the red palette. Click Application. The third is the orange palette. Click Application. We can draw Prism palette. Just draw on top of Prism or change it in the name. Even though we're storing the palette for the beam light, but in fact, This palette can control a variety of different lamps. Requirement is that the lamp has the function of color switching. First, check the beam light palette we just made. Although we only selected a lamp to make palette, but all the beam lights can synchronously call the color palette. Next, we'll do the palette for power lamp. Select a power lamp, press Locate button. First, activate the red, green, and blue lights of power lamp. Gently turn the wheel to white. We can switch colors manually, or we can switch colors through special dialogues. When the special dialog switches colors, 3 color channels are activated too. Next, we combine the power light palette with the beam light palette. Press Store button on controller, click on beam light palette. A pop-up dialog tells us that the palette is available. Please select the mode. Click Merge Into. The second power light switches to red. Press Store button. Click Beam Light Red palette. Click Merge Into. The third power light switches to orange. Press Store button. Click Beam Light Orange palette. Click Merge Into. Let's create a power light fixture group. Press Locate button to turn on the power light. These palettes also can control the color change of power lights. Select the beam light group and the lamp group at the same time. Press Locate button to turn on all lights. The 2 kinds of lights can be controlled together. This is about storing, editing, and merging palette.